Welcome back to the Today Show right across the country, seeing live shots out of Paris here, and this is Josh Frydenberg, who is our Minister for Northern Australia, and also Stephen Brady there, the Ambassador in Paris, just looking at some of the tributes and some of the floral tributes being left in those parts of Paris right now. Look, as we told you yesterday, for all the panic and the sadness you can see on the streets of Paris, on the markets things are much, much calmer. There's a few reasons for this. It seems almost as though the risk of these attacks has already been priced into markets by big investors. The shock factor is not as great as it might have been. The good news, if there is good news in any of this, it seems these attacks, costly as though they are to investigate and to prevent in the future, they're not having the massive economic impact that terrorists might hope. So let's look at the European stock markets now and see how they reacted. In France overnight, the CAC 40 was down just 0.1%, so not very far at all. In fact, European shares overall rose on the night. The Stoxx Europe 600 index, that's the 600 biggest companies in Europe, it was up by 0.3% overall. But understandably, French airlines and hotel groups were hit harder. The big worry here will be the future of travel plans of the almost 85 million international visitors who go to France each year. Now, it is the world's biggest tourist destination. Air France shares, you can see there, dropped 5.7% overnight. Aéroports de Paris, which operates the Charles de Gaulle Airport, saw its shares down 3.7%, and shares in the Channel Tunnel operator Eurotunnel, they were off by 3%. Accor Hotels is France's biggest tourist accommodation company, in fact, one of the biggest in the world. Its hotel brands are known to all of you: Accor, Mercure, Ibis, Sofitel, Novotel. Its shares last night down 4.7%. But on the other side of things, with the expectation of increasing airstrikes and potential increased military action, defence-related stocks, especially in aerospace, were higher. So here you can see BAE Systems up 2.45% overnight, and Rolls-Royce Holdings up 2.8%. Here in Australia, despite the threats and the nerves, the problems of our market, which continues to fall, are all economic. There's worry about China slowing, and this is weighing heavily on the big mining stocks. And also there's concern about the amount of capital our banks need to hold or raise, and whether profits and dividends can keep up with all of that. Let's take a snapshot of the markets right now and see where they sit right now. You can see the dollar under 71 US cents, so 70.96, but stronger against the euro, 66.44 euro cents. That's kind of understandable. The gold price down 28 cents overnight, and oil prices did rise after having really got down close to $40 in the last couple of days. The Dow Jones index, with about an hour and 10 minutes to trade, up 173 points. And if we go further forward, we can see yesterday across in Asia, the markets were broadly lower. In London overnight, the FTSE 100 was actually up by 28 points at the end. And finally, let's go to the Australian stock market yesterday, which again had a rough day, and that was pretty much it. So that's how the markets sit this morning. Again, I think it will be fairly subdued today.